All right, take out your packet and let's check your answers to page 15. This should be page 15 here. Draw a line under your equal sign each time so that you can identify where's the variable and what you need to do to each side of the equation so that you isolate that variable. On the left, you have 4, and this says a divided by 4. To counteract that one, multiply both sides by 4. Dividing by 4 and multiplying by 4 gives you a 1. A equals 16. Check your answer if you need to. And here, this is a -6 that you are trying to counteract. So add 6 to each side. That goes away to 0. 0 plus anything leaves you with that thing. Sometimes you can think your way through this. X over 4 equals 1. When you counteract this by multiplying both sides by 4, you should get x equals 4. Don't freak out on number 3 when you realize you're left with this, 0. I'm asking you 9 times what number equals 0. And when you go to divide each one, you get x is 0. Likewise here, just because there's a 0 there, you want to get rid of this 4, the positive 4 that's being added. That goes away, and you get now -4 equals some number divided by 5. And when you counteract this one, you should get n equals -20. Check your answers as you go along. First things first, there's my variable. I'm dividing and subtracting. So you're going to counterattack by adding 5 to get rid of that. So now I'm like, r divided by 20 gives you 1. What would you have to divide by? Well, it's going to be 20, and you can see that by getting this. 6 and 7, I said, were extra credit, so I'm not going to worry about those right now. On 8, we have to distribute that 2 first. Then subtract 10. That wipes out, and you're left with 2n equals -12. And then dividing by 2 gives you that n should be -6. Look at number 9. Here, subtract 1 from each side. That wipes out, and you get -9x equals -81. If you have a negative coefficient, make sure you divide by that, and you should get x equals +9. On number 10, your first step is to add 10 to each side. You get n over 2 equals 4. To counteract that division, multiply each side by 2, and you should get n is 8. The last 2 on this page, first of all, subtract 2 from each side so that you wipe that out. Careful, this gives you -4 equals v divided by 4. Your answer isn't going to be 1 or -1. Then what you need to do to counteract that division is multiply both sides by 4. Your final answer should be -16. And this last one, please make sure you distribute the -12 first, which means bring the 144 down and rewrite all this. You get -12x and a minus or -60. Counteract by adding 60 to each side. That disappears. So now what we're left with, and let me try to bump this up a little bit. You still have -12x on the right, and now you have 204 here. To solve for x, divide by -12, and you should end up with a negative value, and I believe you get -17. Make sure you've got all your work shown, because I'm not going to give you credit without it, and then move on to the next thing.